You ever have that moment where you're scrolling Instagram at like 11:38 p.m., and it feels like every single person your age just hit some massive life milestone? One friend posts, "Just closed on our first house," with a little key emoji. Another's on a beach in Greece with a fiancé you didn't even know existed. Someone else announces a big promotion on LinkedIn. Senior something something at 31. You see all that, lock your phone, stare at the ceiling for a second. Then open your banking app. You've got some money, but not really. A 401k through work that you don't fully understand. A credit card balance that never seems to go down. Maybe a car payment. Maybe some student loans still hanging around, like guests who won't leave the party. And this thought hits you, kind of quietly. I'm in my late 20s, early 30s. Shouldn't I have my money more together by now? You don't need to be rich. You're not asking for a yacht. You just want to feel like there's a plan, like 40-year-old you isn't going to look back and think, "What were we doing?" That feeling, that late night. Am I behind? Spiral is kind of where I live mentally. My name is Alex, and I spend way too much time thinking about money checkpoints, the specific things that, if you quietly lock them in before 35, make the rest of your life so much easier. And if you don't, everything stays way harder than it needs to be. Here's the part no one tells you. Most people are stressed about money in their 20s and early 30s not because they're dumb or lazy or doomed. But because nobody ever gave them a clear, simple checklist of what actually matters by this age. They just get random advice thrown at them. Buy a house. Travel while you're young. Max your Roth IRA. Start a business. Don't worry, you're still young. Cool. Thanks for the chaos. So I want to do the opposite today. I want to give you 5 money milestones. No fluff, no 50-item bucket list. That, if you hit them somewhere before 35, put you in the top tier of Americans financially over the next few decades. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to have everything paid off. You do not need to own a house or have some huge 6-figure portfolio. But if you get these 5 right, 35-year-old you is calm. 45-year-old you is free. And 65-year-old you is sending you mental thank you notes from a beach somewhere that doesn't require a GoFundMe to visit. Let's start with the first milestone, because honestly, if you miss this one, all the others feel 10 times harder. Milestone 1. Get out of survival mode, your first real safety net. I want you to think about the last time something went wrong financially. The flat tire. The emergency vet visit. The, "Hey, we're increasing your rent by $200 starting next month" email. If your immediate reaction was panic, check the credit card limit. Pray nothing else breaks this month. You're in what I'd call survival mode with money. It doesn't matter how old you are or how much you earn. If one bad Tuesday can blow up your entire month, your brain is stuck reacting, not planning. And that kills every other money goal. So milestone number 1 is simple to say, brutally hard to do, and absolutely non-negotiable. By 35, you want at least 1 solid month of bare-bones expenses saved in cash, and be on a clear path to 3 to 6 months. This is not just an emergency fund. This is you buying yourself mental bandwidth. Here's why this matters way more than it sounds. When you don't have a buffer, your brain is constantly doing background math. If I cover this, can I still pay rent? If my car dies, am I screwed? If I lose my job, how long before I'm calling my parents? That constant low-level fear shrinks your IQ for long-term decisions. You take whatever job you can get. You say yes to every extra shift. You swipe the card and hope for the best. But if you've got even 1 month sitting there, rent, utilities, food, gas, minimum payments, your brain relaxes just enough to think bigger. You go from, "How do I make it to Friday?" to, "Okay, how do I make next year better than this one?" Now, how do you actually hit this? I'd break it down into phases. Phase 1. $1,000 to $2,000 as fast as humanly possible. Sell stuff. Extra shifts. DoorDash. Whatever. This is your Nothing under $500 ruins my month money. Phase 2, 1 month of bare bones expenses. Not your fun lifestyle, not travel, not going out. Just, what does it cost to keep the lights on and food in the fridge for 30 days? Phase 3, 3 to 6 months over time. This might take years. That's fine. You don't need it tomorrow. You just need to be moving in that direction. Hit this milestone before 35, and every other milestone becomes 10 times easier. Skip it, and every other goal feels like trying to run a marathon while someone's slowly letting the air out of your shoes. Milestone 2, kill the high-interest anchors, without needing everything at zero. The next milestone is not pay off all your debt. That's nice if you can do it, but for a lot of people, especially with student loans and mortgages, it's not realistic by 35. Instead, I want you to think about your debts like a team of anchors tied to your waist while you're trying to swim. Some are big, heavy anchors. 24% APR credit cards. Personal loans. Buy now pay later stacked up. Some are just floaties you're annoyed by. 3% federal student loan. 4% car loan. Mortgage at a decent rate. Milestone number 2 is, by 35, every high-interest, toxic anchor, anything above roughly 8 to 10%, is either gone or on a clear, aggressive payoff plan. Why that line? Because once you cross into double-digit interest, your debt is basically playing the wealth game against you. You've probably heard that investing in the stock market averages about 7 to 10% a year long-term. So if you're trying to build wealth at 8% while your credit card is quietly compounding against you at 23%, you're bailing water on one side of the boat while someone drills holes in the other. Let me give you a quick picture. Two 30-year-olds. Taylor has $7,000 of credit card debt at 22% and pays just the minimums. Jamie also has $7,000, but attacks it, paying $400 a month until it's gone, then invests that $400 instead. Fast forward 10 years. Taylor's still paying on that card, probably with a higher balance because of interest and life happening. Jamie not only has no card debt, but that $400 per month invested at 8% is now over $70,000. Same starting point. Different decision about that high-interest anchor. By 35, you don't need to be debt-free. But you want credit card balances either at zero or on an aggressive payoff trajectory. No lingering payday loans/personal loans at insane rates. A clear separation in your mind between toxic debt and managed debt. Why this milestone matters emotionally. When you know your worst debt is dying on schedule, you stop feeling like a failure every time you think about money. You're not stuck. You're in motion. And motion, even slow motion, beats anxiety every time. Milestone 3. Build your first serious income engine. Most advice to people under 35 is like, cut Netflix, stop buying avocado toast, brew your coffee at home. Cool, you save $150 a month and feel miserable. Here's the truth that almost no one says out loud. Past a certain point, your income matters more than your budgeting skills. You can only trim so much. But if you raise your income by $10,000 a year and keep your lifestyle the same, that's more power than a lifetime of no lattes. So milestone 3 is, by 35, you want at least one income stream, usually your main career, that feels like an engine, not a dead-end job. That doesn't mean you have to be on some perfect dream path. It means you have skills that are actually in demand. You can see how to get from what you earn now to something higher in the next 3 to 5 years. You're not completely stuck in a job where there's no ladder, no raises, no future. Think of your 20s and early 30s as building the machine that prints money. The milestones before this protect you from disaster. This one gives you fuel. Let me give you 2 quick stories. Person A stays in the same low-pay job from 23 to 35. Makes, say, $38,000 the whole time. Cuts costs endlessly, but never really levels up. Person B spends those years aggressively building skills, coding, sales, project management, whatever. Changes jobs a couple of times. By 35, is making $75,000 to $90,000. If both of them save 15% of their income, person B isn't just saving a bit more. They're saving double or triple every year for the rest of their working life. Same discipline. Same percentage. Completely different outcome. So what does building your income engine actually look like in real life? Stuff like saying yes to the hard projects that teach you more, not just the easy ones. Switching companies when you've hit the ceiling where you are. Learning to negotiate, even if it feels awkward. Picking a lane, not necessarily forever, but long enough to become good at something the market pays for. By 35, if you can look at your work life and say, okay, I see how I could realistically be making more at 40 than I am now, you've hit this milestone. It's not about your current number being impressive. It's about not being stuck. Milestone 4. Get compounding working for you, automatically. This is the one most people vaguely know they should do, but it doesn't feel urgent. Retirement? That's like 2073, you've got time, right? Erase the uncomfortable math. Two people, same total lifetime savings, different timing. Person 1 starts investing $300 a month at 25, stops at 35, and never adds another dollar. Person 2 waits until 35, then invests $300 a month from 35 to 65. Who ends up with more at 65? Weirdly, it's usually person 1, the one who invested for 10 years instead of 30. Because compounding isn't just about how much you invest. It's about how long your money has to snowball. So milestone 4 is, by 35, you want to be automatically investing at least 10 to 15% of your income into long-term assets, even if the actual dollar amounts feel small. Keywords there, automatically and long-term. That might look like 401k or 403b3 your job, especially if there's a match. Roth IRA on the side if you're eligible. Simple index funds you don't touch every time the market wiggles. The goal is not some fancy investment strategy. It's flipping a switch. Every time you get paid, future you gets paid too. Without you having to remember or be disciplined in the moment. Even if you're starting small. 5% this year. 7% next year. 10 to 15% by your early 30s. Doubt that early money has decades to grow. Think of it this way. Your 20s and early 30s are when your money is the most powerful. Even though you have the least of it. Because it has so much time. By 45, you can absolutely still build wealth. But if you want that quiet, smug, I'm gonna be okay feeling later, getting compounding started before 35 is the move. Hit this milestone and you'll wake up one day, open your account, and realize your money is doing more work than you are. Milestone 5. Lock in a lifestyle that's below your income. This last one is sneaky. Because it doesn't feel like a milestone. It just feels like how you live. But it might be the most important one. Every time your income goes up, new job, bonus, raise, you stand at a crossroads. Path A. Lifestyle rises with income. Bigger apartment, nicer car, more trips, more subscriptions. Path B. Lifestyle rises slower than income. You enjoy some upgrades, sure, you're not a monk, but your expenses stay clearly below what you make. One of these paths feels better today. One of them feels better for the next 40 years. So milestone 5 is, by 35, you've made at least one big, conscious decision to not raise your lifestyle all the way up to your income, and you've captured that gap as wealth. It might be staying in the okay apartment for another year or two even after a raise. Keeping the paid-off car instead of financing the new one. Splitting rent with roommates a little longer than your ego would like. Saying no to the third big trip of the year because you want to max your Roth instead. The point isn't to never enjoy your money. It's to prove to yourself that I control my lifestyle. My lifestyle doesn't control me. Because hey, race, what happens if you don't hit this milestone? You can nail all the others, emergency fund, no toxic debt, good income, investing, and still feel broke. You'll have a $90,000 salary and $3 in the bank before payday because every time your income rose, your life costs rose right along with it. We call that lifestyle creep. I think of it more as lifestyle handcuffs. But if, before 35, you've already chosen to keep your fixed costs modest even when you could technically afford to upgrade, you've basically given future you a cheat code. You'll hit 40 or 45 and realize you have savings, you have investments, you have options, and you're not stuck in a job you hate just to pay for stuff you don't even notice anymore. That's the real money milestone. Putting it all together. And what if you're already past 35? Let's step back for a second. These 5 milestones are not about being perfect. They're not about impressing anyone. They're about building a floor under your life so you can stop constantly worrying about falling through it. To recap: 1. Safety net. At least 1 solid month of expenses saved, and a path to 3 to 6 months, so you're not 1 bad week away from panic. 2. Kill the toxic debt. High interest stuff gone or dying fast, so your money isn't compounding against you. 3. Income engine. A career or skill path that's clearly capable of growing, not a forever dead end. 4. Automatic investing. 10 to 15% of your income quietly building a future you don't have to panic about. 5. Lifestyle ceiling. Fixed costs that stay below your income, because you've proved to yourself you don't need to flex every raise. If you're under 35 and you're hitting some of these already, you're doing better than you think. Seriously. If you're under 35 and you're like, I have exactly 0 of these, that's okay too. Because now you have a map. You don't have to fix everything this month. You just need to pick the milestone that is screaming the loudest in your life and start there. No buffer? Start with milestone 1. Drowning in credit cards? Milestone 2. Stuck in a job that goes nowhere? Milestone 3. No retirement savings at all? Milestone 4. Spending everything you make? Milestone 5. 1 at a time. Messy is fine. Slow is fine. Quitting is the only thing that actually breaks the plan. And if you're watching this at 37 or 41 or 50 thinking, cool, I missed the deadline? The calendar is not the boss of you. Would it have been easier at 25? Sure. But today is still earlier than any day in your future. The same milestones apply. The only difference is urgency. The truth is, most Americans never intentionally hit any of these. They just drift. React. Survive. The fact that you're here, listening to a long video about money milestones, already puts you in a small group of people who care enough to do something different. Your goal isn't to become some ultra-minimalist finance robot. It's to become the kind of person who can say, yeah, my life isn't perfect. But I've got a buffer. I'm killing the bad debt. My income is growing. My investments are quietly working. And my lifestyle is on purpose, not on autopilot. If you can say that by 35, or whenever you get there, you're going to be fine. Future you doesn't need a yacht. Future you just wants to sleep at night. And every milestone you hit between now and then is you tucking them into bed a little more securely. So pick one. Start there. And let the version of you 10 years from now look back and say, that was the year everything quietly started to change.